In the headlines this morning, Obiano honors former Health Commissioner Akabike. Afghan National Committee passes vote of confidence in party national leadership. Federal government to clamp down on defaulting oil firms over Content Development Fund. On a foreign scene this morning, Sri Lanka President rejects UN Chief's appeal over that sentence. Amibere Ugonna, Honorable Amala Anazodo has been sworn in as Special Advisor to the Governor on Legislative Matters. Governor confirmed the function during the State Executive Council meeting at the Government House. Government House correspondent Ejike.
Obiano charged him to bring his wealth of experience to bear on his new task. The governor, who explained that the special advisor's roles revolve around activities at the Senate, House of Representatives, and State Assembly, said that his major function is to help promote harmony and cohesion between the executive and the legislature, as well as provide advice as and when due. Also at ICSCO, the governor presented the immediate past Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joe Akabike, with the certificate of honorable mention. Dr. Akabike served as the Anambra State Commissioner for Health from 10th April 2014 to 18th June 2019. The governor said that the award was presented to the commissioner for his services in the health sector for 5 years. He further explained that the award is the highest recognition any Anambra indigene can get from the state government, expressing optimism that it will spur Dr. Akabike to make more advancements in his new post.
Dr. Joseph Akabike, this award is being presented to him because he did very, very well as Commissioner for Health and brought us to the level that we are today.
Responding, Dr. Akabike thanked the governor and members of ESCO for the recognition, noting that it shows that people observed the little contributions they made in the health sector.
Thank you, because I know that to be in the leadership of health is like passing through a very difficult journey. But I thank God that today, that some people observe that we did something.
Speaking on behalf of the traditional ruler of Nanka, the state president of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Chief Damian Okeke-Ogene, described the governor's move as honorable disengagement, expressing the appreciation of the people of Nanka to his administration. Chief Okeke-Ogene asked the governor to continue in his current footsteps, pledging their unalloyed solidarity to his administration.
Award in the time was in if you fail their detail, honorable disengagement of your commission. 5 years is not a joke.
From the Government House, Oka, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
Anambra State Government has arrested more than 12 vigilante security agents attached to Obara Market, Onitsha, following series of criminal activities reportedly witnessed in the market. Addressing traders during a visit to the market, the Commissioner for Trade, Commerce and Wealth Creation, Dr. Christian Madabuko, warned that the state government will not tolerate any form of criminality in the state. Odinaka Molisa has details.
To Dr. Madubuku, the arrest followed persistent complaints by traders on criminal activities, which had led to several cases of theft in the market, noting that over 12 million naira, as well as goods and wares worth thousands of naira, have been reportedly missing, a situation which he said has created atmosphere of insecurity in the area. Dr. Madubuku, who announced that the security operatives have been banned from entering the market, said government will commence appropriate measure on the case, and the full wrath of law will take its course on the victims. He further reminded the traders of the need to assist the government through payment of tollages and other fees accruable to the government, charging them to obtain the Anambra State Identification Number.
They must stop entering this market from henceforth. These people not here. None of them shall enter this place till further notice. Only must have a clarification from us.
In a latest development, Dr. Anambra visited the allied product section of the Bridgehead Market to assess the environmental situation as the rain wreaked havoc in the market. Conducting the commission around the market, the President General of the market, Mr. Sondo Binze, and his drug section counterpart, Mr. Anthony Ezioba, said the issue of flooding has become a menace in the area.
Of his coming is as a result of flood in the market and the breaking of shops in the market too. It affected the power tools and allied union, but the whole thing is as a result of bad drainage system in the market.
The flood entered most of the shops along the gutter side, so that is why we invited him to come and see by themselves. So he promised that they will take care of that.
Speaking after assessing the situation, Mr. Anambra, who called for proactive measures in checking erosion in and around the market, suggested regular clean-up exercise by traders to help in opening up the waterways to ensure free flow of floods.
Here you have 10, 12, up to 18 securities, and they are working day and night. Yet, criminals break into the market, and they are not able to arrest those people. What it means is that they must know something about it. That is why I placed all of them under arrest.
Odinaka Nwolisa, ABS News.
And away from that, the National Working Committee of All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA, has passed a vote of confidence on the national leadership of ABGA under Governor Willie Obiano as national leader and Chief Victor Ikeoye as national chairman of the party. We have details.
A communique issued after a meeting in Abuja and signed by the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Barrister Tex Okichukwu, congratulated the national chairman of ABGA, Chief Oye, for his re-election, as well as remarkable success of the 2019 elective congresses and national convention of the party. According to the statement, the National Working Committee condemned in its entirety the leaking of a purported email between Senator Victor Ume and Governor Willie Obiano as an act of gross indiscretion propelled by delusion, noting that phantom allegations in the email were excerpts from the same fairy tales which the National Working Committee has since dismissed as frivolous, and urged the general public to disregard the contents of the purported email as it was aimed at sabotaging ABGA's successful national convention. The statement said the National Working Committee also disowned a group called ABGA Stakeholders Forum and made clear that the meeting of the group in Abuja last Friday is not a meeting of any constitutional organ of ABGA, as the organs of the party are clearly spelled out in the ABGA Constitution 2019. It stated that ABGA is one united party firmly focused on consolidating on the gains of the 2019 general elections and has no factions, urging the general public to be wary of nefarious machinations of non-ABGA members and mischief makers who have adorned themselves in ABGA toga aimed at misleading gullible members of the public. The statement disclosed that ABGA will be proceeding to court soon against some House of Assembly members in Imo State who have defected to other political parties with ABGA's mandate to seek the enforcement of their undertaking in court and declaration of their seats vacant in accordance with the 1999 Constitution as amended.
Moving on to the capacity building program for sign language interpreters on violence against persons and prohibition law, child rights law and disabilities right law has ended in Awka. The training, which was organized by a non-governmental organization, Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption, RULAC, attracted 30 sign language interpreters from various schools of specialty across the state. Valentine Mbedra has details.
Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption, RULAC, was established to enhance good governance, strengthen rule of law, and curb corruption in Nigeria. Addressing the media shortly after the program, the Permanent Secretary, Anambra State Ministry of Social Welfare, Children and Women Affairs, Dr. Azuko Famata, who lauded the RULAC initiative, expressed optimism that the rights of persons living with disability will be better protected if they have the knowledge on the application of the law. Dr. Famata appreciated Chief Willie Obiano, who he described as disability-friendly governor and called on other people of goodwill in Anambra State and beyond to key into the Relax initiative in order to give a sense of belonging to those living with disabilities. He canvassed for sign language to be taught in schools to help improve communication between the speech and hearing impaired persons and the public.
The governor has been approving a lot of money for empowerment with persons with disability, with provisions of equipment to make them live a self-reliant life.
In an interview, the Anambra State Relax Program Coordinator, Mrs. Josephine Honor, said that the objective of the training was to equip the sign language interpreters with proper knowledge of the disabilities right law.
We brought these people together for training so as to equip them, position them to be well able to support and help these people with disabilities. Delivering lectures during the program, the president of Anambra State Customary Court and a consultant to ROLAC on disabilities right law, Mr. Prince Will Iwafo, and his child's right law counterpart, Sir Emeka Ejide, noted that the landmark law enacted to protect persons living with disability in the state prohibits all forms of discrimination and criminalizes various offenses against people living with disabilities. Some of the participants including Mrs. Jane Okaro of the Special School of the Deaf, Odapo Onitsha, and Mr. Bertrand Ifediegu of Basden Memorial Special Education Center, Isulo, while lauding the initiative, assured of communicating effectively to speech and hearing impaired persons in their communities and schools. They further advised parents to always allow their children with disabilities to attend special schools.
I want to beg them, bring out your child. There is ability in disability. Yes, the child has a special case, but that's not the end of the world. Bring the child to school. Help that child. That child can surprise you tomorrow.
In Oka, I am Valentine Mbaduwa, reporting for ABS News.
Still to come in the news this morning, federal government to clamp down on defaulting oil firms over Content Development Fund. And on the foreign scene, Sri Lanka President rejects UN Chief's appeal over that sentence. The news returns in a moment. Please join us again.
ABS, Heartbeats of the East.
Welcome back to our national stories. Now, the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, has disclosed that from September it will begin clampdown of oil and gas companies operating in the country who are defaulting in the remittance of the 1% Nigerian Content Development Fund, NCDF. Speaking in Abuja, Executive Secretary of the NCDMB, Engineer Simbi Nwabote, said the defaulting firms would be handed over to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for investigation and prosecution. Nwabote disclosed that this becomes necessary following the importance of the fund and its benefits to growing indigenous content in the Nigerian oil and gas industry. According to him, the NCDF had been very useful in the setting up of the $200 million Nigerian Content Intervention Fund, NCIF, whereby indigenous firms had access up to $160 million, leaving $40,000 million. On business news, Nigeria has reaffirmed its strong support for the 9-month extension in oil production quote under the Declaration of Cooperation, which seeks to improve global oil market stability among OPEC members. Oil industry under the cooperation, OPEC member and non-member nations accelerated the stabilization of global oil markets through voluntary production adjustments, which amounted to 1.8 million barrels per day. Dr. Folashade Yemi-Esan, head of the Nigerian delegation to the 176th meeting of OPEC, stated this at a press conference in Vienna, while welcoming the commitment by Saudi Arabia and Russia on the proposed extension. Yemi-Esan, who is the permanent secretary of the Petroleum Resources Ministry, noted that the development had benefited consumers and producers as well as impacted positively on the health of the global economy. On a foreign scene, Sri Lanka's president has said he rejected an appeal by United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres over the telephone to reconsider his push to reintroduce the death penalty after 43 years. Sirisena told reporters that he had signed death warrants for 4 drug offenders, but did not give their names nor say when and where the executions would be carried out. He accused the European Union of interfering in the internal affairs of his country, saying that EU diplomats had threatened him with tariffs if Sri Lanka went ahead with the executions. He also took a swipe at Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and non-government organizations that criticized him over his stance. On sports news, the Nigerian Women Hall of Fame has inducted Miss Maureen Nkiruka for being the first female with 100 appearances in the women's national team. The event, which took place at the National Center for Development of Women in Abuja, had in attendance Anambra Sports Ambassador Mary Onyali Omagbemi. Ame Michael has the report.
In her remarks, Mary Onyali commended Ms. Madu for all she has done for womenhood and for making Anambra and Nigeria proud.
What we're doing here for you is saying thank you for all that you've done for yourself and your family, but most importantly, for the future of girls in Nigeria and worldwide.
The Director General for Women's Center for Development, Ms. Mary Etta, in her opening remarks stated that Nigerian women have made their marks towards national development, hence the need for the creation of the Women Hall of Fame, and congratulated Maureen for her induction.
Today we are here to celebrate Miss Maureen Madu, the first female to coach a top club in Europe and the first female to make 100 appearances in the women national team into the Nigerian Women Hall of Fame.
Responding, Maureen thanked the center for considering her worthy of being inducted into the Women Hall of Fame and urged every woman to be focused and determined in whatever they do.
I have to tell them to be dedicated, work so hard, push yourself, don't allow anybody to push you, focus, be determined, put God first, and concentrate in whatever you are doing. Don't be distracted with any form of intimidation.
I'm Michael reporting for ABS News.
And that's it on the news at 7. But remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV Online. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website www.absradiotv.com. And the main points before we go this morning: Obiano has honored former Health Commissioner Akabike. Afghan National Working Committee has passed votes of confidence on party and national leadership. Federal government to clamp down on defaulting oil firms over Content Development Fund. On the foreign scene, we brought to you that Sri Lanka president has rejected UN's chief's appeal over that sentence. And that's the size of our package this morning. Many thanks for joining the bulletin. I'm Ebere Ugunna. Good morning, Anambra. Continue shortly. Please stay with us.